Yo, what's up guys, Boogle here, and it's the in-depth Crazed Bird guide. You already know we're hopping straight into the lineup, and yeah, let's get straight into it. And of course, you gotta have your 4 main stallers. That includes being the 2 Crazed stallers, Crazed, Macho, and Wall, and of course the 2 basic cat stallers. And having the true forms will help here, and since I do have mine at level 20, plus 20, on my eraser, I'm going to use the second form, and I'm also going to use the second form for Paris because the true form does help a lot, but I do have plus 5 levels on it, so I'm going to use the second form. Here we go, Crazed Gross or Crazed Legs. This is a very key unit in this stage, and if you don't have Crazed Gross, you can replace it with Hacker Cat, and that will be an okay replacement. It's not the perfect replacement, but it does help a lot on this stage. And Crazed Whale, this is for the boar, and any other anti-raid unit that is good for single target is also a good replacement for Crazed Whale. And stuff like Bat Cat or True Form Brave Cat also works, and Apple Cat is also a good one. And any of these good anti-red cats you can use and replace with Crazed Whale. And of course, make sure to try to get as much of these units true form as possible, because true forms does demolish this stage, because Crazed Cats were introduced before the Gacha true forms, and having the Gacha true forms just completely demolishes the stage, so I highly recommend you get those true formed. And of course we gotta bring Dragon for the DPS and his survivability. He can take a hit from Crazed Bird at this level, and it does help a lot. And of course the main cat for this stage is Jamiera, and make sure you do have him leveled up pretty good because he is the main cat for this stage, and this whole level is all about chipping away at Crazed Bird. The reason being is that you can't consistently get damage on the Crazed Bird unless you're using stuff with uber long range like Hacker Cat, so chipping away is the best option for this. And of course the solid option is of course bringing Bahamut, and it's another solid option to take care of the boar. But if you do have better ubers, you can use those like Thundia or any anti-red ubers. But yes, that was pretty much it, and this level does become a big joke when using true form gacha units, so make sure you have those. And there are annoying enemies in this, so you gotta be prepared, and this is a very long battle, so be prepared for that also. And of course power-ups does make this go by a lot easier and quicker. Bringing speed-ups is essential for this because runs will take from 20 to 40 minutes even, so make sure you have power-ups. And Sniper Cat and Rich Cat is must need power-ups for this level, because Crazed Bird is not spawned on base hit, and Sniper Cat is essential for this stage, so make sure you do bring it. And we're not going to use power-ups just because our cats are a bit higher leveled, and it makes it a little bit balanced not bringing power-ups and bringing second forms of units. And as you can see, boom, he spawns in right away, so what you want to do is stall him as soon as you enter the battle and try to get a Jamiera out there. Maybe get some knockbacks off, because once again Jamiera is the main focus of this stage, and I'll explain the whole strategy to chipping down the bird bit by bit until he eventually dies perfectly, so you can reflect it and repeat it and take down the bird with ease. You must be thinking that the boar is the biggest issue in this level, and it is not. It is actually the reindeers. Yes, and I know it sounds crazy, but you'll see that later on because they stack up and they do become a big problem. So what you want to do is just spawn in a Paris every now and then to get a hit off, maybe send in your whale every now and then to maybe get a hit off. You just want to slowly chip down the Crazed Bird, but not too slowly to the point where you're just spawning installers, but you also want to maintain your money too. Okay, so this is where it gets very strategy based. As soon as the second reindeer does come in, that's when you start luring, and as you can see, we started luring a little bit too early in this run, but it's not a big problem if you do have sniper. Now this is the whole chip strategy. There's two ways to chip down the crazed bird, and that's by using the crazed gross or crazed sexy legs waves and letting the crazed legs get the waves, and hitting the reindeers actually hits the crazed bird in the process, because the waves reach back all the way to the crazed bird in some occasions. So every now and then having that crazed legs chip and slowly chip out the crazed bird's health with those waves does help, and also chipping the reindeer's health. But there's a way to take this chipping strategy to the next level, and that involves timing your Jamiera. Yes, but we are not at that point of the level yet because the boar is about to come out soon, so you want to be prepared for the boar. And there he is, the boar, and like I said, the boar isn't that big of a threat. The real threat is when the reindeer start stacking up with the boar. So what you want to do is stall it out and crazed whales or anti-raid units, spawn them out first and then spawn in your Bahamut, and that will help holding off the boar a little bit longer than usual, but it won't make a difference because the Bahamut does have lots of knockbacks. But you want to lure them to your side and try to wipe out everything at once, so you have a clear path to just the crazed bird. So pretty much just cat spam everything, prioritize on your legs or Paris or anti-raid units, and of course the Bahamut will take care of the rest. And like I said before, the boar isn't that big of a threat, but it does become later on if you're not ready with the stack of reindeers behind it. But that's why I said crazed gross is very key for this stage, because it'll constantly knock back the reindeers, as you can see, so they do not do that much damage. Now the whole goal here is to wipe out everything and just have the crazed bird isolated so we can all focus on that. And that's the reason we chipped out the reindeers in the beginning of the stage with crazed gross and Paris and such. And the reason you want to do this is to get out your Jamiera, and Jamiera can get lots of hits off when it's just the crazed bird alone. And as you can see, having even just one reindeer there does disturb the Jamiera's attack. So this is the whole strategy here. When there are reindeers and you do not have a clear path, wait, first of all, if you do have a clear path for the crazed bird, absolutely spawn in your Jamiera and whale and get as much hits off as possible. But let's say there's a reindeer right here, like this situation. What you want to do is actually spawn in the Jamiera and support units. Like the legs will knock back the reindeer with his waves, and the whale will also knock back the reindeer. And look at that, Jamiera got a hit off and got a knockback, 2 knockbacks on the crazed bird. And just like that, you just want to repeat that method, but don't repeat it too much, because you also want to watch your money and manage it correctly and wait for the next boar to arrive. That is exactly why this level is very lengthy and can take from 20 to 40 minutes. And if you do have Hypermax cats, you will be easily able to beat this stage, because Hypermax Wrestling Cat does demolish this stage. And like I said, True Forms does demolish this stage also. Like a small difference, like bringing the Wall's True Form actually speeds this stage up by a total of 7 minutes. And it's crazy to think that just a True Form Wall makes that big of a difference. So having Paris True Form and other key units absolutely makes a big difference. And as you can see, we weren't prepared for the boar this time around, so instead of stalling up and waiting to get our Bahamut, we actually Paris stacked it out and just stacked out the boar with just pure damage. And this is what you want to do if you don't have your Bahamut ready or your money ready in time. And as soon as you have taken down the boar, that's your opportunity to strike, because the bird will most likely be isolated and you'll be able to attack. Of course, this should be common sense by now, but always deactivate your sniper if there are enemies in front of the crazed bird, because you want to get all those knockbacks on the crazed bird alone. The reindeers are very easy to knock back, as you can see right there. Just a Paris hit and a whale was able to knock it back behind the bird, and Jamiera and whale can get all those hits off. Look at that. Those 3 solid hits will make a big difference in the long run, because it's all about chipping the bird down. But yeah, you just want to rinse and repeat this method and slowly chip down the bird. I mean, there are times where you will mess up and it might get a little bit risky. Like in this run, we didn't bring sniper, and just to make it a bit of a challenge with higher level units. So we were very close to dying, and I did cut up this video a huge amount, so I won't expect it to be too long, but it still might be over 10 minutes long or 12 minutes long. But yeah, and if you're wondering why I left my worker cat at level 7 and didn't upgrade it all the way, is because I did cut up this video a lot, and some people would assume that if I died I could have just used a continue and just cut it out. But of course, if you continue, your worker cat is already maxed, so I just left it there, and so you guys can see for yourself that this was in one run. It was all one run and there was no continues. So yeah, and it did come pretty close. We did take a lot of base damage in this run, and just having sniper cat does make a huge difference. And if the signs do start stacking up, don't pay it any mind, because they do not pose a big of a threat, and the signs being there lets you know that you're actually close to beating the level, because I'm pretty sure the sign comes out at 20 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm not sure the exact time, but yeah, as you can see, we did actually finally take down the bird there, and it took a while. I think this recording footage was over 37 minutes or 42 minutes long. I do not remember, but editing it through, I'm sure I'll cut it down to 10 to 14 minutes. And yeah, that was pretty much the guide. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if this guide did help you out. Of course, subscribe if you're new. Join the hashtag Boogle gang. And only one more crazed guide left to upload, and that is the Crazed Dragon, and I do have that edited and ready to upload whenever it does drop. So yeah, that's it guys. It's been John Boogle, and see ya.